Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back. I'm Mr. Milanese, and today's exploratory activity is all about ProStart. So ProStart is our cooking class, and it's designed for anybody who wants to move into the food industry or for people who just really like to eat good food. If you're like me, maybe you don't have any aspirations to be like a professional chef, it's still nice to learn how to cook, and a lot of our students kind of just enjoy this class because it's a creative way for them to learn how to cook. And yes, you do get to eat really good food. You're gonna do a lot of cooking, and you're gonna learn how to cater, do actual real catering jobs. And so that kind of helps you get trained on the back end of what it really means to run a restaurant. But then also you're getting that awesome culinary background. So if you do want to go on to become sort of like a chef or something like that, well, this class is going to give you the basics. On top of that, on top of getting to eat really good food and all of that great stuff, you also are going to pick up a senior English credit. So on top of the ProStart credit, you also get a senior English credit, and so it's kind of like 2 for the price of 1. Also, if you do decide to go to college, you can get up to 8 hours of college edge credit just by taking this class. So there's a ton of benefits and also a ton of good food to eat. So I hope you're hungry. Open up the box labeled ProStart and let's get started.
Hello, I am Chef Gady from the ProStart program at the Nicholas County Career and Technical Center. Today we're going to be making a homemade vinaigrette. First, you will need a bowl from your kitchen cupboard, and it's always good to have a steady platform like a towel underneath your mixing bowl to keep it in place. And you will find in your exploratory kit all the tools that you need. There's a balloon whisk, measuring spoons, your ingredients, the seasonings, which is oregano and garlic and salt and pepper, Dijon mustard, balsamic vinegar, and olive oil. Before you begin, make sure you wash your hands and sanitize your workstation. We will go ahead and add our seasonings in first. And that's just going to be a teaspoon of seasoning. And then we'll add in our mustard, which is going to be a teaspoon of mustard as well. The mustard is your emulsifying agent. It's going to help bind together that oil and vinegar. Next, add in your balsamic vinegar. Now, these items are all pre-portioned for you, but it's important to remember that when making a vinaigrette, your ratio is always 1 part vinegar or acid to 3 parts oil. So using your whisk, you're going to go ahead and break down those seasonings in the acid or vinegar, as well as the mustard. Now here's the trick when you make a vinaigrette. The technique that you're going to do is called the suspension, when you add your oil into your vinegar. And you have to slowly add the oil. You can't rush it. So with a steady stream of oil, you're going to add that into the vinegar, stirring or whisking continuously. If you need to stop, that's fine, but you don't want to add all of the oil at once because it will not bind together. Again, this is called the suspension, and you're emulsifying your oil and vinegar to create the vinaigrette that will be used on delicate things such as a salad or vegetables. And if you don't want to use balsamic vinegar, any type of vinegar or acid such as lemon juice can be used. And the same thing with the oil. If you would like to use a vegetable oil or grapeseed oil, you can always cut your olive oil with grapeseed oil to take away from that strong olive oil taste. And you can see, you have to slowly, in a steady stream, add that oil. You can do this in a food processor, but I tell my students to always practice doing it by hand with a whisk until they're comfortable with making sure that the emulsification happens. And then they can try using other small equipment in the kitchen. Balsamic vinegar is actually only created in certain regions of Italy, and it's white grapes that are boiled down into a syrup. So it gives a tremendous amount of flavor when you use it as a salad dressing, or even it's used in certain sauces. Okay, and it looks like I have properly emulsified my vinaigrette, and it's ready to use immediately, or I can store it in the refrigerator for 7 to 10 days. Thank you. I hope that you enjoyed making this vinaigrette. Remember that it takes less time to prepare a homemade vinaigrette than to drive to the store and buy a bottle of salad dressing. Thank you, and I look forward to cooking with you in ProStart.